What's up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Question that I have on my mind and my heart today is about our personal foundations, our mental strength, physical strength, faith, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, our systems of belief. These are the things that I want to talk about and ask the questions. Are those foundations really, really solid? Y'all know what to do, man. Hit that like button as you come in. Wipe your feet on the mat before you come into the house. Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Um, we're talking about our foundations, and there are more than one. There are more than one foundation. Again, I'm talking about your belief systems, whatever it is you subscribe to. Some people will call it religion. Some people would not call it religion. They'll denounce religion. But whether you refer to it as religion, whether you denounce religion altogether, you still have a system of beliefs, a network that exists in your mind that absolutely is something that you claim to stand on. That's what you do. You claim to stand on that. So we want to know what level of strength sits under that. I think about the music industry. I think about corporate America. I think about just regular jobs that people have. I think about sports, everyday life, going to school. All of these things I mentioned are things that at some point, if you participate in those things, they are things that at some point will test your foundation. They will put you in a position where you will have to absolutely prove that whatever it is that you say you are about, you're going to have to prove that. I'll use the music business as an example. There are a lot of people who have principles that they come into the industry on. There are certain principles that they come into the industry like, man, when I get in the game, I'm gonna be this way, I'm gonna be that way. I'm not gonna ever do this. I'm not gonna never let them do this to me. I'm not gonna never let them take me out of this or take me out of that. Then they start off pretty good. A little time passes. Things may not move as fast as you wanted them to move. It's not popping like you wanted it to pop off. And now you start to consider making adjustments because number one, other people are getting in your ear. They're like, hey, man, you should try to do this kind of music. You know, this is what's popping right now. If you start doing this, then guess what? Then maybe the labels will accept you. Maybe the fan base, the people will be more into you if you start doing this. But initially, you came into the game with one thought in your mind that I'm not going to ever succumb or bow down to that very thing that they're talking about. I'm already rooted in who I am. I'm rooted in who I am. My feet are firmly planted. But then time passes on. Your lyrics are not as conscious as they used to be. You kind of leaning towards uh, that other style of music that is the popular style. Your content is starting to take a hit. It's not as informative as it once was. You're starting to be more mainstream in your approach. And it usually comes out of a desperation to succeed. You're feeling like, well, man, I tried this conscious thing. I tried this knowledge thing. I tried to keep it real. And that's just not working for my pockets, right? People are like, man, don't nobody want to hear all that, man. Don't nobody want to hear you telling this and teaching that and doing. They don't want to hear that. And you succumb to it. You bow down to it. That only means that your foundation was never strong in the first place. Your feet were not as firmly planted as you made it out for them to be. You talk like your feet was firmly planted, but your feet were not firmly planted on that foundation. So now you look up and you may have got the deal. You may be on all of the platforms that you always dreamed of being on secretly. And all of those people who was with you in the beginning, they were like, man, this dude, we saw him come up. We knew he had the potential. He was really saying something that had so much substance in it. It was feeding us. Now they got him because your foundation wasn't strong. I can use another example. People will say now, well, man, we living in a tough climate right now. I got to feed my family, but I don't believe in these vaccinations that they're putting out in front of the world. And then all of a sudden, the job says, hey, man, if you don't get vaccinated, you can't work here. You're going to lose your job. But your core principles, your core beliefs are like, hey, man, nah, I'm not messing with that. I ain't messing with that, right? These are your core beliefs. So you say. But as the pressure starts to mount, and they start saying, no, man, we are serious. If you don't adhere to this new policy that we have, you're going to lose your job. And the next thing you know, you like this. Come on, man. Let's get it over with, man. I got to feed my family, man. You know what that means? That means your foundation was never strong in that regard. See, the thing about that system of beliefs, that foundation, those principles, the thing about all of that, they don't mean anything. You speaking on it doesn't mean anything. The only true test of what you claim you stand on is when it gets challenged. That's it. The only true test of whatever you claim you stand on comes in when you get challenged on it. It could be simple words. You could just be running around here saying, I'm this or I'm that. I'm a scholar in this particular field of endeavor or study or whatever it is. I'm a scholar. I know this. I stand on this. I say this. I believe this. Then somebody comes along. Okay, well, what about such and such? What do you think about this? Well, I read back in such that opposes what you were saying. So what do you think about that? And they hit you with something that you might be like, whoa. She wasn't as educated on that. And it rocks your foundation. So only when you're challenged does it determine what level of strength that you have. If you're the biggest mouth dude in the school, you talking about how you can whoop everybody and ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me and I'll knock all y'all out and I'll do this and do that and do that. And you sound good saying it. You got the intimidating voice. You got the intimidating presence. So you get away with it for a long time. And they're like, oh, better not mess with him. until one day somebody comes along and go, well, man, I ain't scared of you. So you have to show me. You ain't just the talking that's not going to impress me. You got to show me that you are exactly who you say that you are. And then you find out that he or she was not who they say that they was, because somebody stepped up and put them to the test and shook them up. It's faking. It's posing. I was watching one of my favorite movies of all time. Some of y'all may have seen this movie. It's a movie called Tombstone. It's about Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, the old cowboys from back in the 1800s, right? And it's a scene early on in the movie where this guy is working at the card table and he's bullying everybody at the table and bullying everybody in the saloon. And nobody is challenging him because they're all scared of him because he's talking so hard. And Wyatt Earp walks into the place and say, man, why is this place so dead? This place is trash. It's dead in here. And the bartender says, well, man, we can't get no business because that guy over there scaring off all the customers. So Wyatt Earp said, well, why don't you get rid of him and you can have a decent business? And the guy's like, shh, that's easy for you to say. So Wyatt Earp walked right up to him and was like, hey, man, you sitting in my seat. And he's like, you talking to me? He started trying to keep on his facade and all that. And Wyatt Earp like, yeah. So he cracks a joke. Oh, man, I'm real scared. And Wyatt Earp like, yeah, I know you're scared. I can see it in your eyes. He walked right up to the dude and he slapped him. And he slapped him again. Then he slapped him again a third time. And at that point, you could see the fear. You could see all of the whole fake image just faded and melted away from the dude's face. And the dude had a gun on him, and Wyatt Earp didn't even have a gun. It was just a proof that his foundation was weak. It was false. He was never who he claimed to be. And it just took one person, one situation to call him out, put him on the spot, snatch the rug right from under him. Y'all hit that like button, man. I see you, Rello. You, man, you. Just when I said it, I looked and I saw y'all comment. Hit that like button if you haven't already. I know sometimes you come in and you forget, you don't think about it, but yeah, hit that like button. But that's what I mean. So if there's something that you claim to be, if there's something that you say that you are, if there's something that you say that this is what I stand on and I believe in, and these are the principles that I rock with, then that means you rock with them principles and you stand on that no matter what the circumstances that come that go against what you're talking about. You don't become a shapeshifter to where whatever is going on, whatever works is inconvenient for you, that's what you become. You don't do that. That's fake. People who stand on principles and people who have things that they ride on and live on and laws and stuff that they live on, they make great sacrifices and they take great losses throughout life. A lot of people who have been strong in their foundations throughout history, they've taken great losses because they would not budge on what it is they say they are and what it is. Not whether it's right or whether it's wrong. That's the crazy part about it, because sometimes people will just equate this with being standing on something that's right. I'm not condoning nothing that's wrong. I'm just saying that at the very least, I will respect a person who, even if their principles are crazy, I will respect them if they stand on it no matter what. I'm like, well, you know what? He's crazy, but he's standing there taking them bullets. He is not budged, or she has not budged from that belief. At the very least, I can respect the fortitude of that, even if I don't agree with whatever it is they might be standing on. But pressure is a monster. And I've seen a lot of people bow down over time because of the pressure of life, bills to be paid, things of that nature. And all of a sudden you look up and somebody that you looked at as like, wow, I really thought that he was on a different level, that he had it together, she had it together, and she didn't, he didn't. Wow, I'm surprised. Can you believe what such and such did? For the money? He took the money and ran. Pressure. Pressure puts us in these kind of situations, the pressure to survive, the pressure to succeed, or the pressure to be perceived to be great in this world that tells you what is and what isn't success. I might have told this story before. There was a sister that used to be online all the time on one of the social media platforms that I'm on. And I don't know her personally. She was just in my friends list. Never met her, probably lived in another state. And was always dropping conscious quotes, conscious memes, Black Power this, and just she would just own it, own it. And anybody who's ever been in that fight before, whether you dabble in it, whether you're full head on in it and to fight for freedom, justice, and equality and speaking consciousness, whatever the case, you know that that's not something that's popular. Consciousness don't get a lot of likes. You're not going to get 500 likes on a conscious quote. You're not finna post a conscious picture, show you doing some good in the community or something. That's not finna get 1,000 likes and 200 comments. That's not gonna get it. But maybe she didn't understand that, or maybe she didn't understand that she's not supposed to even care about that. Because over time, I looked up, and the next thing you know, she was posting pictures of herself, showing a lot of herself. And I was scratching my head like, man, her foundation wasn't strong. She was all along doing the conscious thing, hoping that would be something that would get her some attention. And I ain't bashing her by no means, because I tell stories about dudes, women, monkeys, possums, pygmies, aliens. If there's a principle in it, I'll tell a story, right? But slowly but surely, she started to take those pictures in the mirror, and the likes went up. She started getting them likes. She started getting them likes. But she was getting them for the wrong reasons. Because a lot of us, regardless of what we say, we are still yearning to be accepted by this world. We'll try to be conscious to see if we can pop off like that. But when it don't pop off like that, okay, let me go back to see if I can do this. And a lot of people who will say that they hate that, man, I ain't into that mainstream, commercialized, watered down. I'm not into that world. That's not my world. I'm not into corporate America. I don't deal with that. I don't dabble with the corporations and the elitists and the this and the that. I don't associate myself with those people. Those people are evil. They're this, they're that, they're that. But as soon as they accept you, Soon as they say, hey, man, I got a position for you to, oh, really? How much? All that goes out the window. Everything they said just went out the window because they wanted to be a part of that all along. That's what they wanted to be all along. So how many people could claim they stand on those principles, then turn down things that go against the principles you claim you stand on? Or will enough zeros on a check make you do a complete 180? See? Talking about your foundations, mental, physical. See, we have to be put through a test to see if we are qualified for the real prize that comes from the Most High, from the God himself. He got to see which of us are going to take the bait. Take the bait. He got to see. See? So you thinking that, oh man, I'm suffering, man. This ain't working, man. This ain't working. But you're not realizing, speaking to people as rap artists or music, whatever, in that field, I'm on that now. You're not realizing how many lives that you're changing and helping and saving. How many people, oh man, that ain't enough. That ain't moving fast enough. Man, if you save one life in your life, that's a strong accomplishment. But how many people will put that on a scale and say, you know what? Is it better to save one life and not make a bunch of money? In my career, I saved one life and didn't make a lot of money, didn't get a lot of fame and glory and all this stuff that you think equates to happiness, compared to, man, yeah, you got all that. You got the money, you got the fame, but you destroyed countless lives, not necessarily knowing, not really conscious of it. You just making a meal. Hey man, I just made a song. See? You got to weigh it. Different things have value. Quality versus quantity is a real thing. Give me y'all city and state, man. Drop your locations. I know I've been doing a lot of talking. I see, hold on, we got an OG, female OG from H-Town in the building, man. Boss Lady J up in the chat. Boss Lady J. Hey, man, look. If y'all don't know who Boss Lady J is, first of all, y'all need to go on this very YouTube and pull up some of her music. But she was also special guest star in the video I did called The Meeting. The secretary in the meeting, that's Boss Lady J. But y'all don't know, she one of the hardest rappers in the game. Yeah, man, drop your locations, man. We got Mo City Menace up in there, man. My little bro. What up, little bro? What up, nephew? Mo City Menace. One of the hardest in the game as well. We got, who we got up in here, man? Alexandria, Mo City, Texas. ATL. ATL again, Fairbanks, Kansas City, St. Paul, Lake Superior, Dallas, Texas, Lake Charles, Van Nuys. We just, you know how we do it. We know how we do it. And I'm on here early tonight. Y'all know, man, I've been getting earlier and earlier, man. I should get some props for coming on here earlier and earlier, man. We're talking about our foundation, man. Mental, even physical foundation, and strengthening that to where whatever it is that we say we are, whatever it is that we say we live by and stand on, we really that. And nobody can knock us off of it. Feet cemented in the ground. Not bowing down to the pressure. There's an episode of Twilight Zone that speaks to what I'm talking about. Y'all know, if y'all know me, y'all know I'm a big Twilight Zone fan. There's an episode of Twilight Zone where they are living in a world where everybody has been made to look just alike. They have come up with what they believe to be the perfect physical specimens of both genders, male and female. And the males, all the males look just alike. They have a prototype. They have a prototype for the females. They look exactly alike. Tall, muscular dude, young, dark hair, female, slim, blonde. And they're trying to convince this one lady to do the surgery, to do the procedure that will make her look just like everybody else in the world. And she doesn't want to do the procedure. She's like, I'm happy with who I am. I love who I am. What kind of world do we want to live in where everybody looks just alike? Why can't we embrace the uniqueness of God's creation, how everybody is different and no two individuals are the same? She's fighting for that principle. She's standing on that. She's like, no, I don't want to do this procedure. Her own mama is like, come on, you should do this. You're going to be happy you did it. She fought all the way to the end, said all the right things, did all the right things. And I think they forced her to do it. I think they made her do it, if I'm not mistaken. And after they made her do it, she looked exactly like all of the other women in the world. And she stood in front of the mirror and she loved it. She fell in love with being just like everybody else. She broke at the very end, right? She broke at the very end. So how many of us, that makes me ask the question, how many of us really stand on our foundation just because there may not be any options for you right now, compared to how many of us stand on it because that's what's really in us? Because that's how it got to be. It got to be really in you. You got to really be about what you claim to be about. In no words, no threats, no potential loss of opportunity is going to make you change up who you say you are. Shout out to the unloved. I appreciate the donation, man. Please keep teaching the uncivilized civilization. Bro, I'm one of the uncivilized. I'm trying to be civilized myself. Thank you so much. The unloved, you got nothing but love from your big brother. See? We can't let desperation turn us into something that we're not. You was on the right road all along and let one pressure-packed situation knock you off your square. And how do you feel after that? We've all done stuff that went against our better judgment and went against our principles, and we knew it. We all have what's the word I want? What's the term I want to use? We've all like sold out to a degree at some time in life where you knew that's not how you really felt about it. You didn't really agree with that, but you roll with it. Everybody's done that. And those with a conscience are like, man, I went out today. I went out. Yep, I went out. You know it. Now, those without a conscience, they don't care, especially if it came with some kind of prize, some kind of material gain, monetary gain, status gain. Some people don't care. Some people are willing. Some people will tell you, hey man, I'll do whatever I gotta do. Whatever it is I gotta do, I'll do it. And the bad part about it is a lot of them cats, they really mean whatever. And I'll just leave it at that. So your boss walks in and say, hey man, everybody's getting that shot next week. You don't get that shot, you lose your job. You don't want to get that shot. What you gonna do? You're gonna allow them to violate you in something that you're not good with that. You don't know what's in it. Or are you gonna trust the Most High that, hey, God, they're trying to make me do it. I need you to back me. I need you to make sure that me and my family are gonna be provided for when these folks fire me from this job. That's when you're on your foundation. When you step into the shaky, you walking on the shaky part of the stage, and you don't know if them boards are steady, and you don't know what's gonna happen when these people drop this hammer down on you, and you still standing strong, and you still talking hard, and you still doing the best to live that example. That's when you know you there. When you don't fear the consequences of this world, that's when you know you on your foundation. That's when you know it's strong. Because they have the power to pull you in the room. They have the ability to pull you in the room and start telling you what it's going to be. And sadly, some of the greatest people that we have, men and women, celebrities, athletes, politicians, clergy, whatever category we can think of, some of the greatest that we have, entertainment, many of them will talk a certain way openly, but when they get took in that room, and when they are given their instructions, and the instructions are given along with, we got the instructions, this is what we want from you, this is what will happen if you don't adhere to what we're talking about. And they're gonna look at it and ooh, okay, that's all. These only options. Only options. What you gonna do? That's why I made the song called "I Apologize," because that premise has been going on for years, and it continues to be ongoing. That build a man up, tear a man down, humiliate him, make him humble himself, but not make him humble himself, because that's the wrong term to use. It's nothing wrong with a person humbling themselves. There's nothing wrong with a person humbling themselves. What they do, they try to humiliate you into submission to them. So if a brother or sister comes along and speaks the truth, but they may speak it in a manner that's deemed to be disrespectful or hateful, or even if a person misspeaks, even if what they said was out of line, disrespectful, or just out of pocket, the next step is to humiliate them But what is the means that is used to bring them down to submission and humiliation? It's not so much that the person actually felt that what they said was wrong. It's the threat that comes from the higher ups of what that person stands to lose. So now, hey, the sponsors are pulling out. You're losing endorsements. Up. You had 9 shows lined up this month. They all gone. That's the thing that makes people come out and say, I'm sorry, and I need to be educated, and I want to sit down with some of the people in those communities and try to see if I can gain a greater level of sensitivity towards their issues. And it ain't necessarily, the person said exactly what they felt when they was in the moment when they said it. That's how they really felt. And whether there's some truth in what they said or not, the manner in which they said it caused the explosion. But it really wouldn't have mattered if they said it in a respectful manner, because these days and times, you are not allowed to be critical of any powerful group. I'm going to say that again. You are not allowed to be critical of any powerful group. What do I mean when I say be critical? It doesn't mean be disrespectful, hateful, make mockery. No, it means a simple critique, a simple difference of opinion, a simple contrasting view, a contrasting position to their lifestyle. You could say that in the most respectful, articulate manner, and guess what? You're going to become the most hated man or woman on the planet, because you are not even allowed to speak a difference of opinion towards these groups who hold all this power now. So if the LGBTQ community feels as though you said something in criticism of them, whether it was disrespectful or not, they're shutting you down. If the Jewish community feels as though you said something that is in violation of their esteemed greatness, they shutting you down. See? But yet, these are the moral standard, right? You are portraying yourself to be the moral standard. Well, what kind of moral standard are you that I can't even disagree with you? That in itself would tell me, if I didn't know nothing in the world, if I didn't have a grain of knowledge in my head, the first conversation I have with you and I say, well, nah, I don't agree with that. I don't think that's right. I don't ride with that. And then you start to vilify me and turn me into this most hated individual just because I said, right then and there, I'm going to know that you a devil. Because I'm going to say, I can't even disagree with you. We can't even have a conversation and disagree. It takes a while to mature to a level where you can have different views with people and y'all can dialogue on those different views and not get in your feelings about it. We had to grow into that just as homeboys and homegirls. At least we should have grown into it. I would have just knockdown, drag out arguments with my homeboys. It's over differences of opinion. Where you hollering and at the top of your lungs. But we grew and matured to a point where we can just actually have those same kind of conversations. Like, well, nah, man, nah, bro. I feel blah, 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 whatever. And we can go, okay, I respect that. I see where you're coming from, but I don't agree with that. I don't rock with that. Okay, fine. We leave it there. It takes a level of maturity to get to that point. You got to grow and kind of live and kind of understand that there are so many different views on multiple topics, millions of things in the world. But when you are running an entire world, these are people who are running an entire world. And in their immaturity, in their hatred, in their deception, in their quest to keep that power, not gonna let you have an opposing view, even when they know what you're saying is the truth. So they threaten you with the loss of your money, with the loss of your contract, with the loss of your endorsements, with the loss of your sponsorship, with the loss of your work. And the individual goes into panic mode. Whoa, I'm getting 100,000 a show. And I have built a lifestyle that requires me to continue to bring in $100,000 a show. And when I start missing those 100,000s, my lifestyle is going to take a hit. So therefore, I got to release a statement now. I got to stand on the podium now. And well, on July the 18th, I said some things that were very hurtful to a group of people. I never intended to be. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm not condoning no kind of hate speech. Not doing it. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying you should get up there and just be disrespectful and ugly towards people. Not saying that. Hold on, man. I missed the super chat. Running my mouth. Shout out to SUC Holden. Man, this brother here goes so far back with us, man. How have you been, man? Much love to you. You've been rocking with us. He's SUC Holden, Screwed Up Click Holden, but he been rocking with the South Park Coalition too. He SPC. You SPC Holden too. Appreciate the donation, man. And right up under that, Asian man says, forget that job, get a new one. And see, that's where freedom comes in. That's where the fight to free ourselves as a people should kick in. Because when you don't own anything, when you have ownership of nothing, when you don't own the basketball leagues, when you don't own the record labels, when you don't own the media companies, then they have full and complete power to dictate to you how you should behave as it relates to them, even as it relates to telling the truth. So you find yourself having to, okay, that won't happen again. Please, okay, let me get these shows back. That won't happen again. But when we own it, man, look, let me break it down to you in simple terms, in terms that we can relate to, even though I know y'all relate to what I'm saying. You ever been at somebody's house and everybody has house rules, and they should have house rules, and you should respect everyone's house rules, right? But how many of us have had that friend growing up or just have been at somebody's house that when you go to their house, they just act a straight donkey with you. They just show out. They over the top. Hey man, don't put your hand on the doorknob. Man, I gotta wipe my door. Hey man, don't stand right there, man. Man, I just watched that. Man, they just be over the top in their house. You might be spending the night. Or God forbid, you may have fell on hard times and you have to live with that person for a while and they just treat you like the lowest of the low. Many people have been in that situation. And you have to take it to a degree because that's all you got right now. But in your mind, you know they're doing you wrong. Then you know that they're being extra in terms of their treatment of you. Then the day comes when you get your own place. And now you can do whatever you want to do. You can kick back, put your feet on the table, do whatever you want to do. Walk around with your drawers on, whatever you want to do. You feel a freedom. Archangel, yeah. How they gonna tell you don't put your hand on the doorknob? How am I gonna get out? They don't touch my doorknobs. Oh, you wanted to bathe? You want to bathe with water? Man, I can't have you bathing with my water, bro. You got to figure out something else to bathe with. Like, man, what can... But when you get your own spot, you feel that freedom. And you know that can't nobody come up in here and tell you what you can and cannot say and do. This is how we are in America. And as Black people, we really in that situation because we have leaned so hard on these entities to give us the contract, give us the deal, give us this, give us that. And it's an old saying that say, he who pays the piper calls the tune. So whoever is in control of the money, they are in control of the people that they pay it to. See? We talking about your foundation, man. Standing on your foundation, whatever your system of beliefs is, not letting anybody rock you off of that. And even if you are a baby in your knowledge and you're growing, you still learning. You may be new to certain bodies of knowledge, but you know in your heart, this is the real deal. I'm going to say something that Minister Farrakhan said, because y'all know I quote the minister a lot when I'm doing these lives because I love Minister Farrakhan. And every word that comes out of his mouth is an unwasted word of valuable wisdom. And he spoke on that one time. He said, okay, if it's something you haven't learned yet, I'm paraphrasing. He says, stand on what you know until understanding comes. Ride with what you got. If you got 2 ounces of knowledge, man, you give them hell with them 2 ounces of knowledge you got until another 99 ounces come in, till you gain, till you grow in your wisdom. See? That's what we got to be found doing. These lokes is bothering me. Let me see what y'all saying, man. Mike Cullen says, being criticized isn't always a bad thing if we self-reflect. And that's a fact. Being criticized is not a bad thing if you be honest. I'm going to quote Minister Farrakhan again. He said, our critics are our best teachers. So when a person says something critical of you, not disrespectful, critical, they give a critique. When somebody says something critical of you, the first thing to do is not to get in your feelings about it is to process it and consider what parts of it are true. What parts of it could possibly be true? Could something they said possibly be true, even if it's about me? See? Don't just absorb all of the praise and the accolades that people give you. Don't just bathe in that. You just bathing in the good stuff. Now, keep in mind, don't go into the negative stuff too and just drown yourself in that either and let that make you depressed and down, or let it convince you that they are what you're saying that you are, because a lot of people are trolling. And some people can't distinguish the difference between those who are being honestly and sincerely critical of them compared to the people who are just being hateful and just trolling and trying to make you feel bad. So sift through the critiques and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take that to heart. Take it to heart. Teach it to your children. Teach them how to be receptive to criticism. Teach them how to be receptive to people who may not always agree with how they look at things. If you shelter them and cover them all the time with, you're right, you're great, you're great, you're right, you're right, you're right, then the first time they get out in the world and somebody rock their foundation, they don't know what to do. But if you've already trained them to understand, hey, son, daughter, when you get out in this world, it's going to be people that don't like you. It's going to be people that don't like you for no reason, just because you're doing something good. It's going to be people out there that have no problem with you. They just don't agree with how you coming. How are you going to defend what you say you believe in? The key way to do that is through study. Do research, extensive study and research. If you go deep, because it's layers and layers and levels of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, to where you can be on one level and you may smash somebody on the level you on, because they might be right here. See, you might be on this level, they might be on that level. So you think you're doing something because you've out debated somebody that's on this level, and you sprinkle that little wisdom you had that you got so far on them and they won, but then you meet somebody that's here. And even though what they may have in the grand scheme of things, it might not be better than what you're growing towards, but at that moment, they got you. So what are you supposed to do? Go back, get back in them books, and catch up. And take the arguments that they defeated you on, or that they stumped you on, and you go back and you take those arguments and you learn how to win against those arguments. Don't just take it personal. You should thank them. Because if you do that and they cause you to grow, they made you better. You should be thankful to people like that. I used to get into a debate with one of my homies. We still cool to this day. We was cool then, but we would get into these debates, man, these theological debates, and he would hit me with stuff. And at that time, I was young and I didn't really have my stuff together like I needed to. I was all right, but I didn't have it together like I needed to have it together. And every night this dude would send me home and I'd have to get in the books. Like, man, how do I respond to that? Eventually, I found all the answers that I needed. Anything that he stumped me on, I found the answers because I either studied it or I asked somebody who was up here. So humble yourself. You get a little knowledge and you start acting self-righteous and acting like you got more wisdom than everybody, and just because you picked up a little knowledge that you didn't even know 2 days ago. Knowledge comes with a responsibility, and it comes with a level. It's a degree of humility should come with knowledge, because it's not yours. You get some knowledge and you walk around like you just, that knowledge ain't yours, man. That's God's wisdom. That's God's knowledge. He just sprinkled a little bit on you. Now you acting like you the all wise. See? So strengthen your foundation, man. Don't allow yourself to be knocked off the block by the first opposing view. Now, here's another note. If you have something in your mind that you believe to be the absolute truth, and you're certain of it, but you find out later that what you believe to be that absolute truth, you was wrong. You have to humble yourself. You have to humble yourself and say, man, okay, yeah, you know what, man, that conversation we had last night, I found out you was actually right about that. I checked that out. I was wrong about that. Now I still stand on the other part I said, but that part that you was right. Don't get bitter and get in your feelings and be like, oh, I ain't gonna tell them that I was wrong. We was arguing too hard. Nah. Be humble. You know what? You was right about the other part. It wasn't in 1422. It was 1438, like you said. You was right about that. Give it up. That builds character. That builds character in you. Be an example. Don't talk about how you would never, and I would never sell out. I would never sell out for $1. And then as soon as you go broke, you sell out for $1. Gotta get some of y'all comments in here, man. I've been running my mouth a lot. Apocalypse Bear says, one time I challenged my local pastor to answer my young atheist ass Bible questions, thinking I was smart and would stomp him, and he nailed every one. Was a humbling reality check. Bruh, you showed humility. Only a fool would get their arguments smashed on every time and still try to act like, well, no, whatever, man. You know, like, come on, man. So yeah, see, most people with any sense, they wanna learn. They wanna know more. They wanna know what's right. You don't want to walk around just being lost. You want to know what's right. I want to know what's right, even if what I thought was right was wrong. I still want to know, because it could save your life. It could save your life. You go out and ride a horse. You're going to go horseback riding, and when I think I'm supposed to put my foot on this, and the man is saying, no, you're supposed to put your foot. No, man, I saw a movie, and I'm supposed to put, and the horse flip you off. Deco Ayubi, Brother K, how can I overcome my obesity? Bruh, you have to, and it's easier said than done, you have to implement a level of self-discipline within yourself. It's gotta be a level of self-discipline that makes you say, okay, I'm not gonna eat and eat and eat and eat and eat just because it's there, or just because I feel like I want to, or because I feel like it's time. You have to discipline yourself to say, I'm gonna eat when I'm hungry, truly hungry, one time a day if I can, to start, and stick to that. You're not gonna die, regardless if you think. You have to start to exercise your body in some form and fashion, even if it's just starting off with what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, a brisk walk. Just walk. Just walk through the neighborhood. Start out walk as best you can, as far as you can. Don't overdo it. Do the best you can. Walk every day. See? Exercise, drink water, eat the right foods. If you're eating fast food and all that crap and junk food and all that all the time, cut it out. Get with a nutritionist if you can. And if you can't get with a nutritionist, go right online and pull up healthy diet choices, for obesity, things that you can do to lose weight. Or you can do the smartest thing that I think you can do. Where's my book? Can't find my book, man. You can get this book. This is what you really need to do first. Go to noi.org and order this book, How to Eat to Live by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This book will tell you everything you need, man, if you follow the instructions. And I ain't talking like I follow the instructions 100%, but you have to implement some self-discipline. You can't just be freestyle eating all the time. I'm gonna shoot straight with you. You say, how do you know when you truly hungry or not? If you wake up and eat breakfast, you eat a big breakfast or whatever, which I don't feel like you should wake up early in the morning and eat no breakfast. But if you do, and then 2 or 3 hours later, you talking about lunch, you're not truly hungry. You're not truly hungry. You just ate. The food that's in your system is not even begun to digest. It takes 24 hours to do that. So don't eat. Wait till about 4 p.m., 4 and 6 p.m. Eat a good meal and don't eat no more at night. Discipline yourself. You're going to struggle them first few days or so because your body is like, hey, what's going on out there? You're not used to it. But over time, like anything else, you'll condition yourself. And I ain't just talking to you. These are people, this is for people who ain't obese. These are people who just trying to improve their eating habits, improve your overall health. 1 meal a day. That's what he teaches in this book. But what does the American nutritional statute say? It says eat 3 meals a day. Nope. That's BS. That is wrong. That's improper. You are not supposed to eat 3 meals a day. It's not good for you. Anything that you overwork will wear down. Less is more. We've been taught that more is better. More is more. Less is more. If you drive your car 1,000 miles a day, the car that's driven 1,000 miles a day is under more wear and tear than the car that's driven 75 miles a day. The maintenance is not up to par on the car. The maintenance is not up to par on your body. You don't eat 3 meals a day. Your body doesn't have time to digest all 3 of those meals. Stop drinking Kool-Aid and soda, sugar, all that crap. Addictive drugs. Sugar is one of the most addictive foods, if not the most. How do I know? Because I'm an addict. Less is more. If you eat one time a day, then your body will have the sufficient amount of time to break down and digest that one meal in preparation for you to eat another one the next day. Eat the right foods. If you're obese, you're not eating no vegetables. Maybe get you some fruits. Drink you a lot of water and exercise. Can't just be eating and laying around. And if you want to live, if you care about your life, if you have people, you love yourself and you got people that love you, then that should be a pretty easy decision to make. But if you and me and anybody else who might be watching this, if you have made food your God, then that's what it's gonna be. Try to eat the best food that you can. I know a lot of the food has been tampered with and hormoned up and GMO'd up, poisoned. The water, the vegetables and fruits been stepped on. But you got to do the best you can. Look at all these suggestions you're getting in the comments section. See? UXSX only says, I eat all my vegetables and I'm still fat. Well, it's possibly you may be not just eating your vegetables. There may be something else that you putting along with them vegetables too. I'm just saying, I don't know. See, look at all these suggestions you're getting. You're getting a whole bunch of information. You should go back and read these comments or read them as you go along. But there are simple things that you can do, man. Stop eating fast food. Stop eating meat. Leave that pig alone. Leave that cow alone. Leave that chicken alone. No pig, no cow, no chicken. Your foundation has become food. And unfortunately, we can stand on a bad foundation too. So you have to reverse. You have to find another foundation, bro. You have to create a plan. You have to create a plan, a diet for yourself, a regimen for yourself, a schedule for yourself, and then you got to live on it. And don't see, this is what I'm saying. That would be a foundation, but when it gets challenging, don't punk out. Man, I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry. Oh man, oh, it's too hard, man. I'm gonna go in there and make me a bowl of cream of wheat. Nope, don't do that. Stand strong, fight through that tough part, break through that wall. See? Asking you shall receive, man. Ghost says, do you think eating healthy allows you to think clearer? Absolutely. When you eating good foods, see, there are certain foods that are referred to as brain food. There are a lot of food. See, God don't make mistakes in how he set this thing up. He just don't. So every good food that he created, it has a function. It has a purpose. It does something in your body. This food is good for this part. This food strengthens this part. This food strengthens the heart. This food, everything has a purpose. So absolutely, eating certain foods, eating good foods will improve brain function, which improves the clarity of your thoughts. See? What did I eat tonight? I ate some salmon, some brown rice, with bell peppers, onions, and garlic. But that's what I had. Yep. Keep your foundation strong. But in order to have a strong foundation, you got to have a foundation in the first place. The G spot. A healthy body equals a healthy mind. Absolutely. You are what you eat, mentally as well as physical. See? Man. Pro green. I've been trying to give up red meat, and that's tough. But let me have chicken once in a while. Look, yeah, it's hard to stop cold turkey, even when it's chicken. But if you take steps, man, get past that point where you feel like, man, if I don't eat no meat, I still feel like I'm hungry, like I'm missing something. Your body will acclimate. You don't understand the greatness, the magnificence of the human anatomy that God created. It's gonna adjust. It's gonna acclimate. Our problem is we're not patient enough. So yeah, cut out red meat. Cut that pig off. That's zero tolerance for eating a pig. You don't get no 12-step program on the pig. Eliminate the pig tonight. Matter of fact, build a time machine, go back in time and eliminate the pig yesterday. That's automatic. Then if you want to graduate to the cow, then put the cow behind you. If you want to still eat chicken, try to eat the best chicken you can, because if you research the chicken, man, the way they raise these chickens, man, farm raised, and they got them all pitted together, eating their own boo-boo and all this type of stuff, man, that ain't really what you want to eat, because you are what you eat, but you are what the things you eat eats. Say that again. It's not that you just are what you eat. You are whatever it is you ate. So you eating the boo-boo that the chicken ate. See? If you can get you some wild caught fish, see, farm raised is not a good thing necessarily. There are some places that will say we sell farm raised products that are responsibly farm raised, meaning that they don't feed them any GMOs, they don't feed them any other crap, any of that crap that's typically in a farm raised animal. But for me, I only eat fish. So I try to find responsibly farm raised if I have to, or I try to get wild caught. Wild caught, it hasn't had time to be tampered with and stepped on and injected and all that. And then you just do the best you can, because it's all a crapshoot at the end of the day. You don't know where this stuff, what journey this stuff went on before it landed on your plate. See? These animals, man, they run buck wild, and all that the people care about is making money. So they're going to inject these chickens with as many hormones as much as they can to make them grow as fast as they can grow. And the chickens are outgrowing their bodies. The speed of their bodies is growing faster than the natural process. So they growing so fast, the feet ain't even developed on them. The beaks ain't even developed on them yet. They just want the meat. It's a sick world, man. And we just want the meat, so we just gonna eat it. We don't care how it look. Once Kentucky and Popeyes get it, and they make it do what it do and make it look how we used to it looking. We don't care what it was like. We don't care if it was in a thing like this till they killed it. Chicken never knew it was alive. It's so throwed off. The cow never knew nothing. It was so throwed off. See? We gotta be wise in what we put into our bodies, man. And the most important thing that goes for all of us, we got to learn how to grow our own food. That's the key. That's the best way to ensure that nothing that you are putting into your body is being tampered with, is if you grew it yourself. See? If you grew it yourself, then what can you say? You did that. I'll give y'all about 5 minutes of open topic. Can you say a few words about the song Astronomical? Man, I think we did that song about 2005. Just another lyrical song. That's another lyrical song. I like that song a lot because I made the beat. Even though y'all be on my head about, man, your beats is whack, man. You need to get better beats. But I always like that song because I made that track and it fit just right with the lyrics, man. Yeah. What's astronomical? Unexpected disasters, bastards testing the master, blessing the masses with paragraphs that'll blast you to smithereen. The guillotine that fell from the mezzanine just landed but started falling back in 1917. By whatever means, I'ma sever spleens while I perfectly describe 1,000 murders that I never seen. That's it. Y'all make sure y'all go get the new album, though. A Blessing in the Burden. Go to southparkcoalition.net right now and get this album, or go to iTunes, go to Spotify, go to Amazon, and grab the new album, man. Much love to all of y'all who already got it. Appreciate that. Yeah. Go ahead, Jovan. I see you say you got a question. What's your question? Make it quick. I'm about to shut it down. Appreciate that, Woke Warrior. Limb Extractor. Limb Extractor. Woo, that's a name right there, boy. How you doing? My name is Mike. How you doing? My name is Limb Extractor. You don't never want nobody named Limb Extractor to spend a night at your house, boy. Limb Extractor. What up, man? Limb Extractor spent the night at my house last night. What happened? This happened. He extracted my limb. What you got, Jovan? How do you write long songs like Perpetual Ascension and Spiral Vortex? You just keep writing. You don't allow yourself to be confined into the traditional 16 hook, 16 hook, 16 hook. You just write it all the way through. When you get on that level, speaking for myself, because y'all know I got a lot of songs like that, I just keep going. I go until I burn out. The burnout could come after 2 pages, 2.5, 3, sometimes 4. But when it burns out, that's it. Okay, I guess this song is over with. You don't have a set template. You just write and just go. The beat, oh, what's up, Jeff? The beat dictates to me. The beat is like, man, you're gonna write to me until I tell you to stop. That's all it is. I see you, Hector. I see you, Mike Cherry. Martial arts, dollar bill, y'all. I get happy every time I see my homie Dollar Bill in the building, man. Produce them tracks, man. You just go, man. You just go. Yeah. You know, man, look. Are y'all are familiar with a painter named Bob Ross? If y'all are familiar, if y'all know who Bob Ross is, just give me like a what's up, or just indicate that you know who Bob Ross is. Cause I'm finna put something together. I'm finna match something together. But y'all have to know who this man is in order for this to make sense what I'm about to say. If you know who Bob Ross is, just give me a peace sign or yeah, anything, some kind of indication. He's an artist. Well, he was an artist. He passed away a few years ago. Telequacker, I already know. Happy Little Trees. Okay. This is what Bob Ross would say when he was creating, when he was painting a landscape or whatever he was painting. He would always let you know as he was teaching you, he would always say, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Do it however you want to do it. Make your world. He would say, this is your little world. You can do whatever you want to do. If you want to put a tree coming out of the river, you can put a tree. You can do whatever you want to do. He never put the people that he was teaching in a box. So that's the same thing. That's the same approach you should have in your creative, in your writing style. Now, when you write songs, if you're writing a song that you like, okay, this is going to be a song, then you may go into the 16 hook, 16 hook, 16 hook. That's cool. We all do it. But there are certain songs that's like, man, I'm just going. It's just pouring out. I'm not going to allow myself to be handcuffed by, I got to put a hook right here. Even if the beat has a hook sequence in it, I'll rap right over that hook sequence. And nobody will know and nobody even care. Because it's my world. There's no set way. The only set way, the only right way is your way. See? Do it how you want to do it. I don't care if you make your whole album without hooks on it, just straight through. Every song is straight through. See? Greg Sava says, "Can we get a? Oh, I can't do it. I can't hit the Melly Mel tonight. Oh, I can't hit it. I got to be in the studio to really hit it." Thought I saw my boy JD up in here, man. There he is. Yeah. Man, I appreciate the love, man. Y'all be safe.